Hello and welcome everybody to the 9th episode of the Minecraft Let's Play series. In this episode, I'm going to be doing something quite interesting, and it's going to be revisiting an old build that I've made. And that is the iron farm. After building this cool looking build and putting so much time and effort into the design, I think the iron farm, I got a little bit lazy with the looks of it. And it's almost entirely just a functional build. I mean, look at this. It looks so plain and boring, and then you look right up there at that, and it's like, it just doesn't match with that at all, with the level of building and design that went into it. So the plan that I have in mind to upgrade how this thing looks, first I'm gonna build a mountain over this thing. Maybe not a mountain, but just like a good hill so that this is covered up and it looks like nothing's really here. And then somewhere off to the side, I'm gonna mine out a cave that leads down to the chest area down there. And that's what most of the design is going to be. It's going to be designing that cave. I have a really cool idea in mind, and I think you all will enjoy it. So with that being said, the first step is to cover this thing up with a bunch of grass and dirt and just make it look like natural and nothing's here. So to do that, I'm going to need some materials. So I'm going to go ahead and revisit all of the areas in my world where I might have chests filled with resources that I'll need. Here are the first group of chests. Here is the second group of chests. The third group of chests right here. Let me just go ahead and grab all of this. Here is the next place right here. And the last place is my house. So after going to all of those chest locations, I was able to acquire quite a bit of resources, but this still won't be enough, and I'll have to go gather a lot more resources. But for now, I think I'll see if I can build something with this dirt and see if I can make something that looks natural with the landscape that covers up all of this. So after lots of mining and placing dirt, this is the whole thing covered up. It's right under this hill here, and you can see that if I come right over here, this is the ladder that goes down into the farm. And you can see here that it still works, and everything works exactly how it's supposed to. And so my idea is that I kind of want to build a cave that leads down to this part where you would collect the iron, although I might have to lower this thing so that it doesn't interfere with the farm up there, and iron golems like don't start spawning out of where they're supposed to. But I mean, now what I need to do is figure out a spot where I want to go ahead and place the entrance of this cave. You know, I have an idea. I think if I come over here to this hill, I think I want to build the entrance right into this hill here, and then it'll go all the way over to the iron farm. This might be a little bit of a distance, but that's alright. I am willing to do all the mining that it takes to get this done. So I went ahead and mined this hole here that goes all the way to the iron farm, and it's about 100 blocks in this direction. So it shouldn't be too long, but it will be quite a bit of mining. So I'm gonna have to place my beacon and get to insta mining everything here. Yeah, you can see here that it goes right over to the chest here, and now I just need to mine out this cave. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. I'll go ahead and place my beacon right here so that I can give myself haste 2, and there we go. Now it's time to get mining. So here is a quick progress update. I have mined out all of this, and this is where the big main cave is going to be, and where I will come to collect any iron that I want. And then the bit of the cave that actually leads outwards into the world, I still need to work on this. I want to make it a little bit wider because this is just a little tight, and then it's also pretty unnatural once you come into here and it's just really big and spacious. So I do have to fix this up and make this much wider so that it matches and looks good and fits the rest of the build. After lots of more digging, this is most of the cave carved out. You can see that it is nice and spacious out here, but then up here I decided to add a turn right here, so then if I come through here it starts to get thinner and a lot more steep, where over there it's more flat. And then over here is the cave entrance, which it is moved over a little bit from where it was before, but that's perfectly fine. And I kind of actually like this spot better for it. Now that this cave is all mined out though, I want to actually start adding in a lot of the details though, because this isn't what the cave is going to look like the whole time. I am going to have to touch some stuff up and add more details to it. And for that, I'm going to need a lot of blocks. My idea is I kind of want to make it a gradient where up here it starts out nice and green, merging in from the forest out here, and then slowly it becomes more stony and grayish, and then as we get further towards the iron farm it starts to become darker and like deep slate, as well as some lava pools and lava falls coming out from the sides. And so with all of that being said, I'm going to go and collect some resources because I'm going to need a lot of blocks if I want to transform this place. So I just finished gathering all of my resources, and you can see here that all of these double chests are completely full of all of the resources that I need. And this is the gradient that I want to work with. I don't know if it could have been a little better. I don't know if it's the best combination of blocks, but I kind of like it and I think it should work for the build. So at the front of the cave, it'll start with this moss and then slowly turn to stone, and then eventually it'll merge into deep slate. And then that is where the iron farm will be, and where all of the iron golems will be dropping and dying and putting the iron into the chests. And then in these two chests right here, I have some other blocks that I collected that I can decorate the walls of the cave with once I have all these things placed in. And so yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to put in all of the walls for the cave, and then we'll see how that all looks. So I have finished the moss section and I merged it into the mossy cobblestone section, and now the next one that I need to do is cobblestone and then andesite and then the rest. But yeah, you can see that it just slowly merges into each of the other blocks. Now, I don't know how happy I am with it right now, although I do think it'll look much better once I have all of the plants and other cool stuff that I'm going to add around the cave. Another thing that I would like to work on is the entrance. I think maybe I should add some leaves and other plants around just to make it look more lush and stuff like that, but I'll be adding the details later. Right now I just want to focus on putting in the gradient on the walls, and then I can start focusing on the smaller details. So I've gone ahead and finished the next few blocks. You can see that I have all of this stone in, although that didn't really require much since the walls are already made of stone. But you can see it goes into the andesite here, and then the cobble, and then the mossy cobble, and then the moss. So this leaves me with the last 3 blocks with being tough, deep slate, and then cobbled deep slate. And that is going to be a huge task because this is a big room, and I'm going to need to fix the shapes of this cave as well because it's not exactly how I want it to look. It looks a little messy, but that'll all get fixed up while I'm finishing up all of the block placing for these walls. Hey everyone, I want to take this moment to be completely transparent with you and let you know that in the middle of recording this video, I decided to download some mods. Now, the majority of them are pretty much just performance enhancing mods, but there are a few that aren't, such as Zoomify, Better F3, and the replay mod. Now, the reason I tell you all this is because I'm not sure if there's people out there who really care a lot about whether it's vanilla Minecraft or modded Minecraft. I mean, the gameplay is going to be 99% still a vanilla experience, except for the few times when I open my F3 menu or zoom in to take a closer look at something. I won't be using any of the mods that I have for any unfair advantage, and I will stick to doing everything legitimately. But regardless, I don't really feel comfortable advertising this series as a vanilla Minecraft series anymore, so I will be removing vanilla from all of my titles because I don't really want to be tricking anyone into watching my videos. So the reason I actually downloaded the mods is because I wanted to increase the quality of my content. So the performance enhancing mods should increase the performance that you see in the videos. And the replay mod, that gives me the ability to get these cool shots that you're seeing right now. But yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the video. So after lots of building, you can see that this gradient has finally been complete. Now, I'm not so sure about this tuff here. It doesn't really seem to flow too well with the stone and the deep slate. It's a little bit of a weird shade here, but I'll keep it for now and see how it looks once all of the other details are in. And if you all have any other ideas of what block could replace this tuff, go ahead and leave a comment down below for any suggestions. Now, if I go over here, you can see that this is where we can see all the iron golems falling through this little tube here. And then this little area right here down to the left is where the chests will be. I want to make a sort of redstone contraption or something that will take all the iron that flows into here, and then it will automatically craft it into iron blocks, and then it'll be put into a storage system here that I can access. In terms of other details, I would like to put like a sort of lava lake right here with a lava fall coming out of the wall somewhere, and just having a nice little lava lake right here. And I think against this wall over here, I think this is where I would like to add all of the dripstone and those cave spikes that I have. And then of course up here where there's the moss, I would like to add some of the lush stuff like the moss carpets as well as the glow berries hanging from the ceiling and some grass. And then like I said before, we'll have some leaves out here just to make it a little better merging into this cave. In terms of the lighting, I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of these torches. I would like to actually hang some lanterns from the ceiling. I think it would make the atmosphere seem a lot better, because right now everything looks super bright, but I would prefer if it looked more dark and like a cave. I was also thinking of maybe adding some stairs or something, a little path made of wood probably, and I was thinking maybe of making it so that it's like down here it's dark oak, but then the further you go up, it goes into like spruce or something, and then making it all the way up to the top, it would be like oak or birch. So with all of that being said, I want to add the details up here in this lush area and just see how it all looks. So this is what I made for this little area up here. You can see that I added a bunch of glowberries as well as these azalea trees, well, the little sapling things. Yeah, and then I added this path here with some oak wood as well as the path blocks. And then the further we go up, you can see that I added some leaves here, which just merges the outside with the rest of the world. And I think this looks pretty nice. At least it's a lot better than what I had before here. So yeah, with this whole entrance portion here done, I think it's time to go ahead and move on to the area where all of the spikes and dripstone is going to be over here. And then I'll make the path here probably with some spruce wood, and then once I get down to this darker area, it'll be dark oak. After plenty of more building, you can see that I've officially added in this path right here. It merges into spruce, and then if you come along here, there's this giant spiked area with the path going right alongside the right side of it. You can see I have these lanterns hanging off of this pillar here that's coming out of the wall, and I've got a few of those with a few different designs. See, the path kind of just runs along between these two walls here, and then it comes along here, and it's going to come down to the little storage area. And then over here, I added a little spot, which is where I'm going to have the lava pool. And just to make use of empty space, what I'm thinking of putting right here will be a little storage area where it'll be like a little stockpile of extra iron. And then over here, I'll add like a little wooden roof here made of dark oak. And then I'll add that storage system that I explained earlier. But yeah, I think this build is going very well so far. This is the first time I've built something like this and tested my building skills to this level with gradients and all of this lighting and stuff. Usually my builds are really symmetrical. So this has been something I've never done before, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But yeah, with all that being said, I think it's time to finish the rest of these building portions before I get into this redstone over here. So after plenty of more building, I have finished this lava pool. You can see that in the back there, it has the little lava fall as well as all of these magma blocks around. I wasn't too sure about these magma blocks. I don't know how well it blends in with the rest of the environment, but I think it still looks pretty cool. And then if we take a look over here, you can see I blended the path the best I could to become a dark oak path that leads down into this little room right here, which is where I will have the chests. So I still need to go ahead and build this little storage place right here, and I think I'm also going to add a room right here in this empty space right here, as well as a little room right next to the storage room right here. Although the door, I'll probably move it right here. So yeah, the next step is to go ahead and build this little storage spot right here. I've just finished building both of these areas, and if you come over to this one, you can see that this is just some storage where there is some iron blocks and various iron ores just being stored here in this little area. And then if we look over here, you can see this is another kind of storage area, but this is more of a spot for like whoever was working in this cave where they can come and put their helmet and armor, as well as a anvil for their tools, as well as some furnaces and barrels for storage. I really like these two areas. I think it really brings the whole build together and just gives it some nice little detail. But yeah, with all these things in place and all these lanterns up, there is actually no block anywhere in this cave that's at light level 0, so no monsters should be spawning in here. I said earlier that I wanted to make a room right here. I don't think I'm going to do that. I kind of like how much I have right now. And right now I'll just use this hallway so that I can come back to this area where I'm going to be doing some redstone. But the last detail that I want to add is adding some iron ores around the cave to just add some little details. I was thinking of putting some other ores, but I think this is an iron farm, so I think only having iron ores in this cave would be pretty cool. This ladder here, I'm going to be covering it up because once I have the whole cave built, I'm not gonna use this, and I want the main entrance to be the cave entrance. Another thing that I realized quite late is that I gathered so many resources, way more than I actually needed. I think the one that I use the most is the deep slate variance, but that makes sense because that's like the biggest portion of the cave. But yeah, these lower ones, I barely used like any of these stacks. Wait, what? Look at that. What is that doing up there? How did that even get up there? What the heck? This is like the most random thing in the world. I think it should be like right here. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'll just go ahead and mine this real quick. Yeah, now that I took care of all of that, I think it's time to go ahead and add some of these iron ores that I have laying around somewhere. Oh, here they are. Well, let's get to it. Well, there we go. I just finished putting in all of the iron ores. You can see that in here there are the stone ores just dotted around the cave in a few different locations, and then it goes into the deep slate, and those are dotted around everywhere as well. I think it's a good little detail, and it just spices up the place a little bit. But now that all of this is finished, the last thing I need to do to complete this whole build is to do the redstone in the back of this sorting system here. Now what I want to do is make it so that only the iron ingots get placed into the auto crafting thing, and then all the flowers and anything else that happens to land in there, they'll just be dispensed into a pit of lava. So then the only thing that will be entering the chests over here will be iron blocks. So let me go ahead and get all the resources that I need for this build. So I went ahead and got myself some materials that we'll need to make this build. A few redstone contraptions that I think I'm going to need to make is, well, I'm going to need to make some sort of item sorter to separate the iron ingots that I get from all of these flowers and anything else that happens to land in these hoppers. And then once they're separated, I'm going to need I'm going to have all these flowers just get dispensed into lava, so that they don't take up a bunch of space in hoppers and back everything up. And then the iron is going to go into a separate system that automatically crafts it into iron blocks and then puts it into the chests over here. But in order to get the iron blocks high enough to go into this chest system here, I might also need to create myself an item elevator, since the blocks will probably be crafted pretty low in this whole redstone contraption. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and clear out a big space that I can use to put all of this redstone in. So here we go. I just cleared out a nice big open space, and now I should have enough room to do all the redstone that I need to do. So I just rearranged all of these hoppers so now they start flowing out this way instead of into this chest. So that way I can now start building the item sorter, so then I can run off the iron ingots into this direction so that they go into the chests, and then the flowers and anything else will go straight forward and then into a lava trash can. So I went ahead and implemented the redstone that's required to separate them. So now you can see that the iron ingots are all here, and then the flowers are all sitting up here. And then in here there's 22 iron ingots, and then once more than that come into this hopper, the leftovers will be sent into this hopper. So now I have implemented the trash can system, so any flowers will be coming through this line of hoppers here and then into this dropper, which will then use all of this redstone stuff here to dispense all of the stuff in this dropper into this lava here. And I'll just go ahead and cover this up. So now the trash can system is complete. And there we go. Now I've went ahead and built the auto crafting system. So once this auto crafter right here fills with 9 iron, it gets crafted into an iron block and it gets dispensed into this hopper here. And by the way, in case you want to learn how to make any of these redstone contraptions that I'm showing you here, I'll leave links in the description to videos that I've watched so you can learn for yourself how to make all of this stuff. But now to move on to this next system, I'm going to go ahead and place in all of the hoppers that I need for these chests up here, just that I know where I need to flow this item elevator to get all of the iron blocks up here. So after placing in all of these hoppers, what I need to do is have all of these items that are flowing into this hopper flow into that hopper right there. So here is the item elevator completed. I hope this works. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up these hoppers right here to the item elevator, and it should start going all the way up into the storage system. So if I come right up here, it should start coming out into this chest right here, which it is. Well, this should be all of the redstone complete. I've added all of the contraptions that I wanted to add, and I think everything is working smoothly with any flowers coming into here, just dispensing into the lava, and then all the iron coming into this crafter right here and then being sent up into the storage system. I'll go ahead and place like a stack of iron right in here just to see that everything is working. Yep, and you can see that after putting in all of that iron, it is slowly filling up. Now what I can do is move all of this iron and stuff where they are supposed to be. So there we go. Now all of my iron blocks are in this chest, and now if I ever need iron, I can just sit here and AFK until this thing gets filled up. And now that everything is done, I can go ahead and cover this up, and now the whole entire build is complete. Well, actually, the last thing I need to do is go ahead and cover up the ladder from the top. And there we go. Everything is now complete. Man, I really need an automatic storage system. You know, this build took so long to make, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. It took a lot of grinding resources and mining out this big cave, as well as just trying to come up with ideas of how I should build this thing and what things I should include inside this cave. But I really like how everything looks and how it all comes together, and now I have a nice little fancy iron farm storage system. But yeah, I mean, with this whole build complete, that concludes everything that I had planned for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed watching me build all of this crazy stuff, and if you did, go ahead and like and subscribe for more of this series. I apologize for taking so long to put out this video. I've had a particularly unproductive past 2 weeks, and so it shouldn't typically take this long for a video to come out. But anyway, that's it. Have a wonderful day.